good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We are the Man United agenda. It is the aftermath, the Monday aftermath, that is, anyway. Obviously, the show after the show where we've just played a game. I'm joined with Colin, obviously, Mr. I don't know anymore with this guy. I do not know with this guy if he's on the light side, if he's coming to the light side, or if he remains on the dark side. Colin, how are you?
I'm not bad, thank you. Not bad at all. I hope everyone's had a good day.
Well, it's again the aftermath, it's the backlash. We get to dive into kind of the bones of what's been left of us after a disappointing defeat away to Aston Villa. Disappointing in the point where a loss is a loss. Many people have told me, again, I've pointed it out, I'm from Birmingham. I have tried to pull it out there and say, look, we played well, but ultimately we lost. And people keep telling me, yeah, you played well, but where's your 3 points? So, yeah. There we go. The partner in crime, Mr. Positivity himself as well. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yaba, how are we?
3 minutes late, I see. I thought I just have to set my clock back about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I couldn't miss this show today because there's so much to talk about. The aftermath of the loss against Aston Villa, and I want to bring some balance to the conversation, hopefully, and make you feel good about United again. That's how I feel, anyway. But yeah,
Excellent.
big up to Colin, big up to Rio, big up to everyone in the chat.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Big up, Mr. B. Evening, evening, evening. And of course, we deserve better, real color. And then he gets this, it's your fault. Yeah, but he's had to put it on a separate line, a separate comment. But good evening, yeah, bah.
It's not good
It's
enough, is it?
despicable. It's not good. It's not good. Housekeeping, timekeeping. But you're here. You're here. You're here. You're here. You're here. Yeah. Um. Okay. Aftermath. It's gonna be quick, snappy. We're gonna dive straight into it. A lot of things. I love this show. We get to hear what Amrim has to say, and obviously we have a post-match show, but we don't really get to dive into the comments of what he's had to say too soon. We can do that today. So as always, a nice graphic for you, and it's what I want to dive into immediately, and it's the Amrim comments. He had quite a bit to say, but I think this was kind of the main kind of pick of the bunch in regards to what's important to us right now, and it will go on to why it's important to us. But Amram says the club would not rush to bring in something in January just because of injuries. So transfers in January just because of injuries. What we cannot do is to reach January and try to do everything in urgency and make mistakes. And then here we go again with a lot of mistakes. So it's a touchy subject. People have their different opinions on it in terms of the January transfer window. And I'd like to kind of, before we touch on the actual specific comments, I'd like to touch upon the January transfer window in regards to its importance. Colin, I know you've got some strong views on this. Share them, please. What do you think about the January transfer window as a standalone?
I think it's obvious. Well, there's only two transfer windows, but I think this is important. We can't ignore a January transfer window. Many teams strengthen in January, and we need to do exactly the same. We need to strengthen our squad in January. It's the difference between potentially getting qualification to the Champions League, to the Europa League, or to the Conference League and finishing 10th. I think that's how important this window is.
Yeah, and it's a fair point. Again, I think during Ruben Amorim's reign, the only January transfer window we had was last January, and it was Dorgu, wasn't it? I think was the only
Dorgu in Heaven.
team and Heaven. Okay, so Heaven, obviously we got him, and he technically he's a first teamer, so I would count him, yeah. And then Dorgu. Yaba, a question to you as well, and to the chat, of course. But Yaba, for you, January transfer window, do we kind of take it for granted? Do clubs as a whole take it for granted?
Well, let's put it this way. I think it's opportunity, isn't it, to save our season, SOS. We always, if you're doing badly in lead up to the January transfer window, it's an opportunity to purchase some players and dig into that budget, to save your season. And if you're doing well, it's an opportunity to strengthen. And as Colin was saying there, we're coming to the January transfer window. And if you look at it, you'd say, all right, let's bring in some players to push on, which the opportunity is there. But I just don't think you should put all your blessings into a window. You should really, as a coach, you paid so much money. You should also consider, actually, by this point, working on the system, working with your players, developing players. These are things that I would prefer to see from a manager, not just our manager, but all football coaches. You've got to work your troubles. You can't just dig into your pockets and ask the chairman for more money to save you. Show your quality by turning your team around, no matter what, with injuries, with suspensions, with players with bad attitudes. It's down to you as a manager to turn that around yourself. Rather than showing how good you are by going into the transfer window and buying somebody. I mean, when was the last time that we've seen a dramatic transfer window? So where a team like Wolves, for example, who haven't won a game all season, have bought a player and suddenly saved their season. I don't see that happening too often. So I think the manager in those quotes, we'll come to quotes through later, makes sense. Haste makes waste, and decisions like that to buy a player just to save your season doesn't always work out like that. It's all about, for me, it's all about the day in, day out training, dedication, and that's what you pay for as a manager, to turn things around on the training ground.
See, I get that.
Let me just interject on that one. Sorry, Colin. Just a quick belated happy birthday. Apologies, Yaba.
Oh.
Happy belated 50th. When was it again? Is it today?
Well, I don't celebrate birthdays, but 50 is a big milestone, isn't it, to reach half a century? Like in cricket, you get a round of applause, wouldn't you? So, guys, if you don't mind. Sorry, it's not until January the 4th, so I'll take another applause.
Oh my God. Okay. Bloody hell. A quick few new faces in the chat from what I can see anyway. A quick hello to Katie. Hello, Katie. ZZ Gamer. Hello. Simon, of course, always in the chat. Good evening. Maria. Hello, howdy. And Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dolo should both be sold to the Saudi League. Colin, sorry, go ahead.
I'm obviously with what Yaba's saying there about certain players coming in, not changing seasons and all that kind of stuff. I completely get that. It doesn't always work, but I just want to list off a couple of names here. Felipe Coutinho.
I'm trying to do the same thing.
Bruno Fernandes, Luis Suarez, Nemanja Vidic, Virgil van Dijk, all bought in the January transfer window.
Did you say Cody Gakpo?
Yeah, Cody Gakpo's on there as well. But I'm just looking at the top 5 here.
Yeah.
They all improved the teams that they joined. And I feel like that there is the one thing that annoys me about not Jabba, obviously, but some other people is there is no value in the market. There is always value in the market. You just need to find it.
Yeah, it's bang on. But at the same time, though, it'd be interesting if obviously we've not done it today, but it'd be interesting to go back into the legacy of all these signings. Bruno G is one that I remember as well. That was a January transfer signing, and ultimately, there and then, was it aggro? Was it hard to get these deals over the line? Was there competition? The Van Dijk one, I don't think there was. It was just a case of they just demanded a lot of money and they just went, here you go. Yeah. So is it a case of, will we overcharge? Is it a myth? Is the price always extortionate at this period? And then obviously going back to the comments, Ruben Amorim, he does it from time to time. He does speak like he's the banker. He's the manager. He shouldn't be talking with that lingo. I agree with that. But ultimately, does getting a big player now hinder us going forward? Is it bringing a transfer forward? I'd like to get both of your opinions, Yaba, on that one. Like in terms of the values of players.
Well, I mean, you guys mentioned some players, you threw out some names. I don't see any of them coming in and winning trophies or being the major difference. I think when we bought Bruno Fernandes, we didn't win the league that season. We might have improved slightly, bought some great stats or whatever under Ole, but we didn't win anything. The same applies with Van Dijk and all these other players, Vidic, and they didn't really make that major difference for winning things. The example I gave was Wolves being in relegation and getting saved from relegation by a player coming in. That's dramatic. That's massive. And I rarely see that these days. That one player can really make a difference. You know.
Would you pay for a player now a little bit more if it meant getting them early, and it ends the competition for that same player in the summer transfer window?
I don't. It's very difficult to answer that, Rio. But what I will say is this: I think Liverpool, when you're pursuing a player and you want them really badly, and over windows, and eventually you can get them, the opportunity comes to get them, then that's okay. I can dig that. But I prefer to pursue a player who's going to tick our boxes rather than buy a player just because the window's open. You see what I'm saying? So with Liverpool and Van Dijk, they needed a centre back. That was crucial for them. They needed a goalkeeper of Alisson. These are players that you could see made a difference to them becoming nearly team to winning team, you know? So I think I'd rather, if that player is available and is our number one target and just turns out he's available in January and we've been pursuing him for a certain amount of time, I don't mind that. But I don't want to say just because the window's open, right, the fans are desperate, we've got to dig into our money and buy someone just for the sake of it. I don't think that's right. And as we've seen over the last few years, with Dorgu last season and season before, it seems like the summer is the main window to actually strengthen your side and get to the players that you really want. Because say for your team like, I don't know, struggling in relegation, you're not going to sell your best player in January. You'd rather let him go for free if it means going and getting relegated, you know? Like Crystal Palace, they're pushing on in the Europa League or to the Conference League or wherever they're in. They're in around mid-table. They're doing all right. There's no reason for them to sell Gay, even though you might go free at the end of the season, you know? Unless you see what I'm saying? You have to be, most clubs would not sell their better players at this window.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, it'd be interesting to dig into like the legacy data of what happened with the previous situations, because everything would be all relative. You know, for us, we're being linked with players, but it's not ideally the players we want right now. But it's like, but we need a player to do a job right now. So do you get by with what you've got and you put players in makeshift holes, or do you get in a player and then it might end up being a doggy situation where they've come in now, but ideally, and when you want them to be part of your main team, they're not really the quality you were looking for and they were just available right now. Colin, last one on that one before we move on, because obviously we want to talk about some transfer news, which it will go on nicely with what this topic's about.
Yeah, I just want to point out to Yaba that when we signed Bruno in 2020, in January, we ended up finishing second, qualifying for the Champions League, and he was our top goal scorer for that season as well. So players
from
can
January.
From January.
That's mad.
He finished with 18 goals from January. So,
where were we? Were we in contention for the Champions League in January?
We were sixth.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then we signed him and we finished second. So, you know what I mean? I understand it has to be the right player. It can't be any player. It has to be the right player. Now, in regards to what you're saying there, I think we do need to do something, 100%, but it has to be the right player. There's no point wasting money. We've done that so many times. There's no point doing that anymore. Like, I know we're going to get into some of the transfer stuff later, but, you know, if there's an option that's going to be the cheaper option, but we know he can do it in the Premier League because we've seen he's done it in the Premier League. You know, that might be the better option than going and paying 65 million for somebody like Edison, who's never played in the Premier League, and we don't know how he's going to do.
Yeah.
That's my view on it.
That's fair. That's fair. People in the chat, what are your thoughts on this? Liverpool paid a king's ransom on Isak, and now he's off for a while. So again, different transfer window, but it's a good example. That one's looking like to be a silly one because of the injuries we knew he had. It's a shame of what's happened with this particular one. You can't really manage that one. He's got a broken leg, hasn't he? So you can't really predict that one. Evening, Andrew. How are you doing? Kind sir? As it's Christmas, time for the Grinch to open up his wallet, free the moths, and use our credit card and start doing some decent belated Xmas shoppings. Yeah, I need to be watching the Grinch. I am a big fan of that film, so it's the impressions for me. Like hate, double hate, loathe entirely. I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of
I wear?
Yeah. I can't cancel again. Yeah. But yeah, brilliant. Can't see United getting much from the 3 games. Fair enough. If Ineos do not buy a midfielder in January, then they can jog on and along with Amorim in the summer. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Just who are we going to have as captain for the Newcastle game? Wow. Oh, wow. It's like one more. Don't know what we need to do because none of us are told the truth about what the budget is. That's true. But in fairness, we're not the bankers. And again, saying it with a B. So we can speculate, we can guess. We're just the fans. So we get fed all these news stories and then it's down to us to talk about it. So yeah, I get it. It is frustrating. It'd be lovely to know what the transfer budget is. You get an inkling when you start on FM every new game cycle and you see what the transfer budget is. I think Man United started off with 30 mil or something like that when you start the save. So yeah, that's pennies in today's market. But yeah, swiftly moving on. Who was it then that just touched upon the captaincy? Simon, lovely. Just who are we going to have as captain for the Newcastle game? So Bruno, injured. It looks like he's going to be out for about a month, give or take, maybe a bit more than that, soft tissue. But at the same time, he's like Wolverine, isn't he? So he's got these miraculous powers. Remember that time where he got injured? He had a boot on. And then he played the next game, literally. Bruno Fernandes, in light with what happened after, so I will kind of interlock the 2 topics. Bruno Fernandes and then Licha, our new brilliant midfielder that we've never seen before, has come on. Yaba, thoughts? Bruno out, Licha in. What do we do?
Are you referring to Licha as a captain?
Not as a captain, but just Bruno in general. Are we cream pied? Are we in the mud? And does Licha coming in kind of open up a new way of thinking?
It's a call for the manager to make. Licha is someone we're not qualified to say whether he's a midfielder or not based on 45 minutes. He's done really well, mind you, pressed really well, pinched the ball. We know that he's got defensive attributes that way, but he's on the ball's really good as well when he's got the time and space. I think if he does continue to play there, I think teams will get in and around him, try and wind him up in that area. Let's see what he's like when he's under pressure. He didn't have that much pressure on the ball when he was playing the other day. So that's what I'd like to see, to really have a sort of more qualified. This means nothing to me. 45 minutes without any pressure on the ball. I think teams will now, once he gets the ball, will put pressure on him just as he's about to receive it and see what he's got there, what his ability is like. Because the Premiership's like that. You'll get rushed. Poor Fletcher came on the other day and probably had more time and space when he's playing academy football or under 21s and under 18s. As soon as he's got the ball, they knew as a kid, rush him. They rushed him and pinched the ball with him a couple of times like that. So I think the same will apply to Martinez if he continues to play midfield. So question mark still out for me, even though he played really well. He had the time and space to do what he wanted.
Carlo, thoughts?
Get him in midfield. I missed the positivity about this one. Get him in midfield. Because Bruno's out. Mainoo, we don't know what's happening with Mainoo at all. Is he injured? Is he being punished? Who knows at this point? I do not want Ugarte playing in midfield.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that one. I don't
think it'd be very fair to throw one of the young lads in against that midfield of Newcastle.
Fletcher, he'd be the standout candidate, wouldn't he?
He would, but
back in right now.
Fletcher against who's their midfield?
Joe Ellington. It would be Guimaraes, and it would be Tonali if he plays. Sometimes it's Miley in the midfield. Yeah,
I mean that. I'd rather bring him on later in the game than have him starting against those three. So yes, put Martinez in there. He can. Yes, it's only 45 minutes, but we saw a very competent display for 45 minutes. He controlled the tempo. He played the simple passes that Yaba loves. He didn't play anything like Bruno, 45-yard long pass. It was, I've got the ball, got a bit of space. Who's open? You're open. Simple pass, 5 yards. And that was it. We don't need anything extravagant.
Chat, who would your two be? Obviously, we deserve better going with Casemiro and Martinez. So obviously, we've got Casa to come back into this team. So I'm guessing it's a shoe-in. It's a no-brainer. Casa comes straight back into the team, which is mad that I'm saying it quite fluently and so positive. Like Casa comes straight back into the team, but he does. And I think I called it out on the last live, and I kind of said, with what happened with Yoro, I kind of favor putting Licha straight back into defense. I want that kind of assurance. I'm a bit more concerned with having Heaven, and Yoro with a Luke Shaw. I want a bit more experience in that back three. Yaba, I know you like your experience in that back three. You're not a fan of the two youngsters in the back line. But does Licha start? That might be a good one. Does Licha start in any shape, way, or form?
Yeah, I think the manager would start him above what we've got available to us. He's coming back from injury, and you don't want to rush him, but he is. You say you missed them when they're gone, and he's like the forgotten man. But he reminded us when he came on the other day how good he was. Big up to Colin because he was talking about the passing, but I think he has got that passing range where he can spray balls. Even when he came on defence a couple of games ago, I remember he sprayed a long ball to Bruno on sixpence, and he can do that. He was trying to do that. He was opening up to hit long passes the other day when he was playing short passes as well. He's got that in his locker. Playing in defence, with Yoro. Yoro had a bit of a stinker against Morgan. Looks like it was his fault, but also I must say, upon reflection, I was a bit emotional yesterday and did dig into him. He deserved it. But also, there's no one backing him up. Ugarte, both times, didn't close down the ball.
That was bad. I saw a clip on that today.
All right.
Ugarte. Yeah, you're right.
You watched the game again. You watched it, yeah.
I saw the game, and then I saw a clip of someone kind of talking about Ugarte.
All right.
And he just sat in front of... He's in the box,
Yeah.
And he's not closed it down.
I really dug into him, and yesterday I really put the boots in on Yoro. And damn right, what I said was right. But when I went and watched the highlights again, and I'm thinking, right, surely, how's he getting that much space? And Ugarte just standing there, he should at least come down and close them down or something like that. And I don't want to get on Ugarte as well, because I know he's getting real bad, beef right now. But he's really, really not doing his job correctly. And as Colin knows, Colin says the same thing. Do your job. Same thing apply. He's not doing his job at all. And there's two examples there. So I think, talking about Yoro playing in defence, I think he might have to play again. But if he's got someone there like Casemiro or Martinez in midfield who's going to do the work and back him up, because it needs to be in this system, because we're so vulnerable at certain times, you need that one person to back you up. And if one person lets you down, suddenly it's open up, as we saw with the Morgan Rogers goals.
But I think the benefit as well, though. Let's just go with the premise, because obviously I've been saying that we need, experience in that back line. We need somebody to sit in between Heaven and Yoro. I've been shouting that as well. But let's go with devil's advocate here, and he decides he's going to play Martinez, and we're having Heaven, Yoro, and Shaw. There's nothing stopping when they're on the attack, Martinez dropping in and sitting between Heaven and Yoro.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So we're going to a back four.
Licha, out of everyone, that's maybe I'm only because it's fresh on the mind and whatnot, but he played it differently, didn't he? It was weird. He dropped really deep to the point where the left side and the right side branched out, and he almost did fall into the back line.
Yeah.
And Ugarte pushed forward, which was a bit different, wasn't it? Because we normally have our most defensive player drop deep to be the one on the ball. On occasion, Bruno will drop deep to try and dictate and tinker around. But I don't know. He showed traits for me, which I really, really enjoyed. You know, he was quick, he was snappy, he was pinging the ball into players. There was this one opportunity where he was on the edge of the box and Delo just come back on side. And he looked before he played the pass over to Delo. The move didn't come, it didn't go to anything, but it was, I like to say, higher IQ, and I think he's got that in abundance, really. But you're bang on. It'd be interesting to see what happens in a pressing game. You know, has he got the know-how to be in the central of the park, to turn, to know when to drop the shoulder? He showed it in spells, I thought, when he was going to be pressed, and he turned and he knew, you know, he was inviting some passes on before them passing. You know, some people do this thing where I see you in front of me, and I'll just think I'll pass it to you straight away when there's a player, and it doesn't allow you then to have the time to turn. It's almost like a hospital pass. But if you invite the player on, you hold the ball, you wait for a player to come to you, and then give it. It gives the player that's receiving the ball acres, that extra 1 or 2 seconds to actually do something with the ball. And he was doing it to Ugarte, who probably needed, you know, Bernard's watch to actually have time with the ball, to be fair with him.
No, just going on that, if you're Newcastle, you will be looking at and saying, if Martinez is playing instead of midfield, you need to close him down. Colin was just mentioning there that a couple of times, Martinez is a smart player. He realized he needs space to exploit, to show his real attributes. And that's why he was dropping deeper to receive the ball in space, so he can have his head up like a quarterback and pick people out. He's got that left foot one where he can do that. 5 yards, 50 yards, no problem. Bang, feet, and playing through between the lines as well. So that's what he does. He tries to create space for himself, and that gives the opportunity for the other midfielder to push slightly forward. So we might see a situation, if it is Casemiro and Martinez, where Casemiro is getting forward, and which we know he can do pretty well. I think what always made me laugh is when Casemiro arrived at the club, he was down as one of the best DMs in world football because he used to play alongside Modric and Kroos, who would allow license to go forward. He'd sit there with respect. But as soon as he came to Man United, he was bombarding forward thinking, I'm free now. I can show people that I'm more than just a sitting player, you know? So maybe you can do that again with Martinez in the side.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other option we've got, and it's not a bad option, is Mount. Play Mount next to Casemiro. Mount's clever. See, I'm one of these people. When we signed Mason Mount, I was like, "What we signed him for? My God!" And it's completely shut me up and sat me down. I love Mason Mount now. His IQ.
I think he's turning. He's used the word love a few times today. I think he has.
Okay. But Mason Mount's IQ is amazing. He can see like 4 passes before a player's even got close to him. And I think if he's got the security of Casemiro next to him, which frees him up a little bit to go forward and obviously drop back. And this is the thing, Mason Mount has been quality, not just this weekend, the last weekend. Every time Mason Mount's played, he's been hitting at least a 7 out of 10 rating every time.
Yeah, I love that for him. Absolutely love that for him. Yeah,
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, we need that amongst the board as well. Let me have a quick little butchers of the chat. Apologies, people. Apologies. There's a lot. It's the aftermath, so there's a lot to get through. Here's the big issue. If Licha is starting centre mid with Casa, then we have serious lack of depth with the way injuries are. But hey ho, Ineos decided we didn't need a mid in the summer. Fair. But that's why we're hoping they kind of do something this time around. And we deserve better. Heaven left-footed, Shaw left-footed, Martinez left-footed, Heaven left-footed. Surely Yarrow has to start at right centre-back or Delo at right centre-back. And then Malacia left wing-back or Dorgu right wing-back. Interesting call. Delo right centre-back. It could work. He's done it before. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. You're saying no. You're saying no. Okay.
He can't defend posts.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. What is okay? The go of this is popped up. The ghost of Mr. B. Greetings, the ghost of Mr. Greetings,
face.
mortals. This is the Man United agenda, broadcasting live from the Theatre of Dreams.
It's turned female as well.
I know, yeah, what am I doing? Yeah. So, and occasionally nightmares. Don't worry, the ghosts here only haunt poor defending and missed chances. So the ghost will probably be about a lot on Boxing Day for me anyway. But yeah. Chat sports, I wouldn't risk Licha. Nah, risk him. Actually, I'm saying that quite flippantly. You gotta play him. You gotta play. Yeah. He's fine now. I don't think it's a risk anymore. I think fingers crossed. I think the training department have done something good. You know, Shaw, Mount. So fingers crossed. Our bench was quite weak in the Villa game. It was to be fair. It was. Gallagher is decent, but he should be added. We've got Garte staying at the club. We'll talk about Gallagher. With our weekend side, we will get walloped by Newcastle. Have faith. Faith will prevail. Anyone fancy Mount getting injured next game? Oh God. Okay, I didn't see that. Yep. Fingers crossed. No. Fingers crossed. No. And double AA. Good evening. Lamans, Yarrow, Heaven, Martinez, the low cast, Mount, Dorgu, and Bumo, Xerxes, Shesko. This is without Bruno and Mainoo.
Well, we can't have him Mbeumo.
I'm gonna say I was trying to. I read that and I was like, what kind of squad's this? Yeah, no one Bumo, unfortunately, but his ghost will be there as well. Evening, Stu. Good evening, kind sir. Good evening. Okay. Thank you, people. Lovely. Always keep it going. Keep the chat going. Love the engagement as always. And if you've not done so already, smash the like. Appreciate you kindly. Thank you. Okay. So let's get on to some transfer news. Let's talk about a certain winger / would he be a winger for us? Semenyo. So he's been linked with us. He's been linked with Man City. He's been linked with Liverpool, maybe Arsenal. He's definitely not being linked with Spurs. So what are our thoughts on this? He's got a 65 million buyout clause. We don't need to do it, but do we need to do it if the option and the opportunity is there to do it? Do we bring a signing forward? I will open that out. Yaba, go on, actually. Go on.
So you're specifically talking about Semenyo.
Semenyo specifically.
A player who's come up the leagues. I've looked into him. I mean, I saw a lovely interview with one of his former managers, and the manager was saying, look, there's a lot of players in the championship and around the championship who are pretty good, but you have to go to that extra mile to become a Premiership player. You have to dedicate yourself to football. And he did that. He got more muscle bound. He lost weight. He really sort of took his football seriously, as a lot of these guys, they don't. And they never really take it to the next level. And he's able to take it to the next level and demonstrate that in the Premier League. And now he's at Bournemouth doing bits for them. Strong runner, getting forwards, good shot on him, and really, maximising his potential right now. Hence why he's got 65 million get out clause if he wants to leave the club. It's a no for me. I wouldn't take him. I don't think he's going to make a profound difference to us.
But you put him all up then, and then you said no.
No, but because of those reasons. Because he's just a player who's maximised his potential. If you were really that good, you would have really been shown out to be that good a few years ago. He wasn't. He was just a championship player who's dedicated himself to the game and given himself an extra 10%. And now he's a good Premiership player. I wouldn't say he's an outstanding Premiership player. He can blow hot and cold. I would just, playing for Bournemouth, he's, really shone. He's the main guy out there. He's a guy who puts the work in, but also is in a position where he can look good and hit them on transitions with his running power. I just don't think that, even though he's a hot boy right now, I've still got a question mark about him, and I wouldn't want to sign him just because he's the hot guy with a few goals this season. I remember Ollie Watkins last season was the hot guy because he scored a few goals. Look in today.
Do you not think Cunha,
who came from the Championship as well?
Do you not think Cunha falls under that bracket though? He's not
Cunha's Brazilian.
Yeah, but he's not prolifically done it season upon season. He's had probably a really, really good season, and then we've gone out and got him because he was prem proven. Like,
I think if you
not
look at Cunha's, he's come from Atletico Madrid. He was signed for them. He was sold on. That was always a big question mark. Why would they let him go so easily and all that? And we were interested in him when he was at Atletico as well. But I just like he's got something, that X factor about his game, which I don't think Semenyo's got.
Fair enough. Colin, in terms of January signings, bringing this one forward, I know Man City are highly, highly linked with him, and I think the reports are if Liverpool want him, it's pretty much done. So with the heat that's around him at the moment, if there's an opportunity for us to snap him up, do we do it?
Nope.
Okay.
For some simple reasons here. One,
I know what you're gonna say.
We don't need another forward. We need midfielders, not a forward. Two, we are fourth choice to him. He's already said his choices are Liverpool if they come in for him, City, then Chelsea, and then United, in that order. Three is a Leeds fan. Sod off.
I read he's a United fan.
No, he's a Leeds fan.
What? Why? Where's that? How?
He's a Leeds fan.
Okay.
There is a YouTuber called Ellis Platter. He did a retro shirt video.
Yeah, he did the retro. I saw him in the Chelsea shirt.
He says in that he's a Leeds fan. He supports Leeds United. So no, I don't want him for those three reasons.
Okay.
But mainly because we don't need a striker. We need
as the talk's gone on, though, as the talk has gone on, and chat out, I would love to get your opinions on the Semenyo debate as well as always. As the talk's gone on, it's made me think: do we need another attacker? And I think we do. I genuinely believe we do, because let's say you've got Shesko, which I think he might be a conversation in a week or two with Shesko, but not one for now, of course. Cunha, Mbeumo, Ahmad. Other than that, in the number 10s, Xerxes, we might as well consider him gone. That depth isn't great. And then when you look at Man City, when you look at the likes of Liverpool and even Chelsea, to be fair, the amount of options they've got to fall upon, it's interesting. I think it's good to, and someone mentioned it earlier, our strength on the bench is not very good. It's not nowadays. If we want to compete and get back to what our standards are, we need to be having players where we make a sub and it's almost like for like. And if we're going to be in more competitions, we can't have this kind of conversation. But players are going to get concerned if we have them on the bench. No, if we're in more games, that won't be a concern. Chat, what are your thoughts on this? Let's have a quick look.
Well, whilst you're looking at that, Semenyo still doesn't fit that profile though, because he's not an out-and-out striker. So there's still no point getting him. He's a right wing, left wing player. He's not a centre forward.
Yeah. It'd be interesting again if we don't get him. It'd be interesting if we don't get him. We know there's money available. So
we know that.
So that needs to go in the mid.
We was willing to pay. We're at 60 million for Belabor in the summer, and we never spent that money. So we know at least 60 million is still there.
The ghost of Mr. B strikes again. As the festive fixtures roll in, the ghost of Mr. B will be hovering over the pod, ready to remind us where it all went wrong, usually by minute 12.
Fair enough.
Okay. Come Boxing Day, players will be full of food and booze, so we'll be looking at 10 fat Teletubbies. Oh, bloody hell. 10 fat Teletubbies on the pitch trying to burn off the grub. Bloody hell. Semenyo comments: can't have too much quality, and Semenyo is that. Okay. Stu, I'll take him all day, but think he'll go City. Fair. If City go for him first, Semenyo will go to City. So I think it'll be a Liverpool one. I think Liverpool might be the one. I think Semenyo will go to Liverpool. His salary is injured in the AFCON or get sold. Bang on. I can picture Semenyo pairing up alongside Eke Tea Cake, which I love to call him that, Tea Cake. So bang on. We deserve better. If we have 65 million, it makes much more sense to get Buedi and Neves for 65 million. He's not an amazing player and he is a winger, but I won't complain if we get him. Beggars can't be choosers. And then Matt, good evening, Matt. Good friend of mine, Stupefy. Harry Potter quote, if you know, if you know. Colin, you know them. Yeah. How long has Semenyo been in the league? Good question.
Since 2022.
There you go. There you go. And then Stu, we're so shite. I'll take anyone. Well, there you go. There you go. Oh, wait, Richie. This is one amongst you people in chat. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? We will let that linger. Pipe bomb. We will let that linger. But yeah, Semenyo, I think so. I wouldn't be. It's a nice to have, isn't it? If we're going to be honest, he's a nice to have. I'm not kind of in an urgent situation to get him. If I can choose him over a midfielder, I would absolutely do that. And that would take me on nicely to the next topic. So we were linked recently in the last couple of hours, actually. Ruben Neves, or is it Ruben Neves? I think it is Ruben Neves. But for those that know, Ruben Neves, formerly of Wolves, currently at Al Hilal, I believe. Could be mistaken. 28 years old. He is gonna be roughly 15 to 20 million. Yaba, you a big fan of Ruben Neves?
Yeah, when he was at Porto as a youngster, we should have signed him then. He's 28, 29 now, 400 grand a week. He just wants to come back to Europe. The Saudi League is not really ever going to blow up, in my opinion. You just get money-hungry players going there and then saying the right things. You know, oh yeah, it's a fantastic league. But as you can see, they all want to come back home and play proper football. If you've got anything about you, you know, and it's not strong enough. So I think he's a talented player. I think he's played in the Premier League, and we were interested in him before. But I wouldn't go for him now. I just think the age. I just don't think, you know, it's like a. I remember in the 70s and 80s.
50 million though. 50 million.
Yeah, but what about the wages? I mean, how much wages cut would he take?
Good point.
I remember in the 70s and 80s, like, a lot of English players used to go out to America, go out to Canada and play their football out there, Australia even, you know. And Chris White from Arsenal, he did that as well. I just think it's for the money reasons. And I think you shouldn't like come back and expect to be a top player anymore. The interesting one for me would be Tony, who used to play for Brentford. I think he was prolific, wasn't he, in the Premier League? Good player. I just think, you know, when you wake up, what desire do you have when you're waking up in silk pajamas, as Marvin Hagler would say, and then having that sort of lifestyle and, you know, the heat and playing different style. That compared to the cold of the Premiership, it makes a lot of adjustments. And I don't think once you go out there to the Saudi League, you're never going to be the same. You're never going to be able to adapt again to the Premiership. It's just my opinion. I don't think we should go for him.
Chat, quick one for you. Is there any player that we know of that's gone to the... Because it's been around for a while now and it's kind of blown... Well, yeah, but you are bang on. It's not blowing up as what they thought it would. But over maybe the last 5 to 6 years, do we know of any players that have gone to the Saudi League, kind of come back to Europe and done well? Colin, Ruben Neves, having him 15, 20 mil? Instead of Gallagher?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd take him. 28 years old. I still think he's got a bit to give in his career as well. He's a defensive-minded centre midfield, which is exactly what we need, because we need a midfielder. He's not going to break the bank. We're not wasting loads of money. So if we have him for a year, 2 years, that means he's 30, 31. We can probably still recoup that 15 million anyway. You know, if for instance, I don't know, Porto want to come back in for him, when he's 30, 31, and we're like, oh, well, 20 million is yours. We've made our money back. It's a very low risk transfer. I'm thinking like a Glazer at the minute. It's a very low risk transfer, but it will add something to the team. You know, he's played 21 games this season, 6 goals, 3 assists. So he chips in. And
the only issue is and I love those stats. Like, you know me, I love the stat, but it's almost like, how does that convert into Premier League tax, if that makes sense in terms of statistics?
well, I'd say it's probably 2 goals, 1 assist. That's what I'd say. But it's his defensive actions. No, it's his defensive actions we want. And he was fantastic at it at Porto. He was fantastic at it at Wolves. So why not?
Yeah, fair. Yaba, back to you. Is there any? Because it's a weird one. Watching we've been so deprived of what a good like CDM pivot player is supposed to do, what we want them to do. I think Neves would come back into the league and literally do what Licha did the other day. Keep it simple, dictate the play, don't do anything over the top. You know, he's not really a player that used to get about a lot. Anyway, he would only keep it simple. So for a player like that, it might be exactly what we need, surely.
Yeah, I mean, you sell him to me, and I think, yeah, he reminded me he is a good player, and he can do a good job, but you like sprung it on me. My initial reaction is like, nah, I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have ex-Saudi player coming over here thinking he can sort of walk the walk again in the Premier League. Like you said, you asked the question, how many players have gone out to Saudi, come back and been effective? Listen, it's hot in Saudi. They're playing Olay football out there with all old players. I mean, he's got an old school Kante out there, and I don't know if Kante's still out there, but it's not the same intensity as you get out here. It's going to be a shock to the system coming back to the Premiership. Even though you might believe he can do it, he might be fit, but is he Premiership fit? That's the big question for me. And we haven't got time on our hands to wait a few months for him to adjust back to the line.
Well, he's constantly getting into the Portuguese national team. So surely he's good enough, because think about all the Portuguese players that could get in, but he's still constantly being picked. And he's playing as well. He's playing a lot of them. And I think he won at games and played, I've just got it here, Hungary. He played against Hungary and played centre-back for 90 minutes of a game. And they came out and won. You know?
I'm talking about the tempo of the game.
International football's slower. But if he can still perform at that level, why can't you do it in the Premier League?
I think what do you think, Rio? Because you're asking the question.
I like him. I think I'm sold on a player like that. That type of player is my cup of tea. You know, I'm trying to think of players like Pirlo. You know, Pirlo, someone that can sit behind the destroyer. You know, that can take it from the back line. You know, he's that type of player. Someone that can just ping it around. Doesn't need to be fancy with it. And I'm really buzzing from I'm going to keep mentioning it. Licha the other day, really buzzing from the other day. So I'm kind of sold on a player like that. Casemiro can do it for us, but I think having bang on, who said that there? Matthew, thank you. Sorry. Register, like that's the role. He will do that role absolutely perfectly, and it will open so much more avenues. It would not surprise me if at some point we do go back to a 4-back if we get a player like that. Chat, what are your thoughts on Ruben Neves? Is there any kind of mixed opinions in there? Let me quickly whiz through the chat. Neves is better than Casemiro. Kobbie Mainoo is gone, and Bruno is not a centre mid. Bang on. Neves is class. Definitely. I agree on that one. Evening, and but I'm definitely not. I think you think he's class as well. I just think I think it is the Sigma of Saudi, isn't it? And I think that's probably. I do get that. I get that. For what price? 15 mil. Been touted, Stu. 15 million. You know, wages wise, they will have to come down. They will have to come down.
I think he said about 200,000. That's what he'll come down to. 200,000.
See, when you say that,
we're paying. How much are we paying our players?
Well, see now. See, when you say that, that again, I go back to it. We're not bankers. Yes, with a B. I don't. Yeah, 200. Ooh, yeah, but I'm probably siding with you a little bit now because of the that salary. If it's going to be 200. Would he be a main player?
We're paying Casemiro 350,000. Bruno 300,000, De Ligt 195,000, Maguire 190,000, Cunha 180,000, Sheshko 160,000. So he's not even like going to be the highest earner at all.
Then it comes down to the importance of him in the team. Like,
But
maybe...
I think he plays. I think if he comes in, he plays. He plays whenever he's available. Literally whenever he's available. And I think that frees the rotation. So Casemiro is fresher. And obviously we don't know how long Bruno Fernandes is going to be out for.
Yeah. Mount 250, Cass 300, as you say. Bruno 200. No, Bruno's on 200, surely.
Bruno's on 300.
Yeah, Bruno's on 300 and Maguire's on 190. Squeezing that Maguire there for Yaba. 190.
Agate earns 120.
And Gate's on 120, which is maybe 100 bit more than what he's probably. I'm feeling now. You know, let's not the Ugarte slander. He's had enough probably, so we'll give Ugarte. He probably won't play again, so it's fine. Okay, I'm having him. I'm having him, and we'll see. We'll see how that story kind of spirals out of control. I think it came out from Ben Jacobs later on, like later this afternoon, wasn't it? So if it becomes a thing. Brilliant. But we'll have to see. It probably gets swept under the carpet. But yeah, gents. Oh, quick one prediction here. We got a Geordie in the house, I believe. Man U 1, Newcastle 1. My prediction. Okay, I think we might. Would I take that early? I probably would.
Yes,
I probably would. Yeah, gents. The aftermath. There isn't really too much more to cover. We've kind of gone through the thick of it. Yaba, any final words from you, kind sir?
Yeah, it's Christmas time. Let's talk about Christmas movies. That was put in the chat. You paused on it. You said we'd deal with that later. You gave us time to think about it. Christmas movie for me growing up, they always played the Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Movies like that, you know, Jurassic Park, all these movies that the family sit down and watch, even though you've seen it 1,000 times and you watch it again. I've got, you know, these days people got Fire Sticks and movie channels. You wouldn't sit there and watch it then. You watch it around Christmas. Die Hard. They said it's Die Hard, a Christmas movie. I think officially it is. They played it many times around Christmas, especially the first one. So yeah, and there's so many great lines in there, isn't it? I don't know if you can think of any right now.
I only watched Die Hard for the first time maybe last year, which is bad. I know.
Wow.
I know. Colin, you're looking like you've not watched it at all.
Well, Die Hard. No, I am.
Wow. Yippee-yi-yo, as they say. Yeah. What's a Christmas movie, guys? What would you class as Christmas?
Well, today, literally before stream, I'm saying this so proudly. I watched Love Actually. That's a Christmas film.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my, okay, fair enough. But I've not. To be fair, it's the first time for me, but it's definitely a Christmas film. People in the chat, The Wizard of Oz. That's not a Christmas film.
It is.
The Wizard of Oz is not a Christmas film.
It came out around Christmas, didn't it?
No, I'm not having that. Home Alone 100%. Gremlins 100%. E.T.
Yeah.
E.T. No, I'm not having that.
Oh, come on, he's right. Definitely.
I don't know. A Christmas Tale, yeah, definitely. Muppets Christmas Carol. I need to be watching that tomorrow. That's probably my number one.
This is my family tradition. Every Christmas Eve,
where you get the Muppets out.
No, we watch Muppets Christmas Carol.
You watch it
every single Christmas Eve. Christmas Carol.
Oh, here we go. Mr. B's got me. What? Love Actually.
Exactly. That's what I said. Yeah.
Wait, what are you surprised at? The fact that I've just watched it for the first time, or the fact that I've watched it?
Probably that you watched it.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm referring to my childhood. Alfie's a good film, definitely. Mary Poppins. No, Mary Poppins ain't a Christmas film. I'm not having that. I'm not having a film that came out near Christmas is a Christmas film. No, it has to have a Christmas tree in the film. Like, you know, that's what I'm defining as Christmas, people. Okay. Bang on. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, probably the number 2, like, Christmas film. Came out in 1988, I think. Maybe 89. Good one. It is a good one. And then Ace with the good old bring us back to reality. United. But yeah, no, I will be, you know, not long, but 2 days, 3 days. I will be squeezing in a few more films, that's for sure. A couple of hot chocolates, few marshmallows, and the celebrations and the roses tins got popped out today. Quick one, people. Celebrations, roses, or heroes? We're not having quality street as an answer. We are not
not?
having quality street as an answer.
Why not?
Was that? Please don't tell me that was going to be your
I'm
your
going to
goal.
say Quality Street. They're traditionally, way before they got more history than the other two.
Heroes.
Nah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This slander, Mr. B. You them positive muppets. Yeah, Yaba and Rio. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Mr. B, I've been quite positive tonight, to be fair. I think
so.
I've been more positive than Yabba tonight.
Nah, man. For Quality Street. Nah, man. This is yeah. I'm not. I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna be rude. Quality Street is Quality Street reminds me of Coronation Street. It's like a,
old, outdated, and should be got rid of.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, not a Quality Street, but yeah, heroes for me.
Just quickly, your favorite Christmas song, pop song. What really sort of nostalgic for you, makes you feel like, yeah, it's Christmas?
The Pogues.
Okay, good.
You know which one I'm on about?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they just can't sing?
On Christmas Day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. It's Christmas Eve.
I think Last Christmas by Wham.
Last Christmas you gave me my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year. Yeah. Okay. People, we're not getting into karaoke. We're not getting into karaoke. People, if you've not done so already, really do appreciate it. Smash the likes. It's that festive period. It's the season of giving. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, people. Oh yeah, there you go. Feed the scouts. Let them know it's Christmas time. That might be sung, but that will be sung when I'm at the ground. I know that.
They were singing it yesterday at the game, and they weren't playing Liverpool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it always happens. Yeah, and the Cantona song as well. That'll be there. People, it's been a lovely aftermath. That's what we like to call this show. It's been brilliant. Show tomorrow, yes, I believe, some form, some shape, some form. And then we've got the Newcastle preview on Christmas Eve. Newcastle preview, people. So be there and be square. Obviously, no stream Christmas Day. And then we'll be back on Boxing Day with a watch along. But yeah, gentlemen, last one's from you, Colin.
No, if I don't see you before, have a wonderful Christmas, guys. And up United.
Yaba.
Yeah, I second that. Come on, United. Let's do the business.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. People, chat, you've been amazing as always. Take care. Please be festive where you can. Spread that joy. Spread that cheer. And then hopefully the spirit of Christmas will reach Old Trafford by Friday, and we'll be celebrating with 3 points against Newcastle. Ignore the ghost of Mr. B. Yeah. Jacob Marley, etc. None of that. Festive all the way. Amorim, come on. Bring those 3 points. But yeah, we've been the Man United agenda. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Take care and good night.